Welcome back. In the Crossfire tonight is Ralph Nader and Michael Shellenberger. Tonight, CNN's presenting the film Pandora's Box. You'll hear longtime opponents of nuclear power explain why they've changed their minds, and some say it's less dangerous than they feared. Others say the only answer to our growing need for energy. Here's another clip from the film.
Most people kind of think that somehow we're going to be reducing our energy consumption. Actually, we just find more and more uses for it. If you look at all the energy that is used by an iPhone, not just to make it and to power it, but also to power all the servers, all of the stuff that you don't see that the iPhone is connected to, it uses as much energy as a refrigerator.
Okay, but look, the U.S. is poised to be the largest producer of gas and oil in the world. We have the largest deposits of coal. We have the best wind and solar resources. France and Japan don't have any of that, and their backs are against the wall, so they have to go to nuke. We don't. Now, Michael, we in the United States are blessed with all of these resources, but nukes only represent 20% of our electrical supply. If we simply conserved, like Ralph said, we could decrease our electrical consumption by 20% and eliminate the need for our nukes that we have right now. Why don't we just conserve? In Montana, I challenged the state of Montana to decrease by 20%. We did it in 2 years. Why can't America do the same?
Well, actually, what's happened is that we become more efficient over time and we use more energy. In fact, basically every developing country, every growing country uses more energy. So to go a bet the planet strategy on conservation and efficiency is a fool's errand. Now, the good thing is there's actually science here to arbitrate, to just figure this stuff out. So we know that, we know from the study I mentioned earlier, nuclear saved 1.8 million lives. We now know what's happening in Germany, in Japan, where they've moved away from nuclear. Germany's emissions are going up. They're burning more coal. Japan has gone back to burning oil and natural gas. That's causing harm and deaths right now. So when Ralph kind of constructs these very scary sounding scenarios which are designed to scare people, you can evaluate that against a long 40 years of a track record here where we know that nuclear provides the safest baseload power source there is.
I mean, let me ask you just for a second because I can't resist. In terms of scary scenarios, literally from my grandmother's house in Royalton, you can see 3 Mile Island. And Calista and I went down a couple years ago and filmed at 3 Mile Island. The second reactor there has the longest continuous run of any reactor in the world. Nobody, according to the Center for Disease Control, there were 0 casualties from 3 Mile Island. So isn't there a certain amount of comfort that, in fact, even when there is a disaster, the same thing's true at Fukushima, where it's a very expensive project to fix, but at the moment at least, it's not a disaster, it's not a Chernobyl-like event. And it may have taken the Soviet Union to have managed something badly enough to get a Chernobyl event. So isn't it a certain amount of scaremongering to take something like 3 Mile Island and then blow it up into we're going to lose half of Pennsylvania?
I don't like to play Russian roulette with the American people. You just need one bad accident, and you'll have a huge area of America uninhabitable. In Chernobyl, for example, there are 250,000 people who had to leave their homes in hundreds of square miles, empty villages and towns. Fukushima is still boiling around. That's an advanced technological society. But in your area of Pennsylvania, you got spent fuel rods all around those plants. All over the United States, these aging plants, half of whom can't meet the fire prevention standards of the Nuclear Regulatory Commission, by the way, today. They have all these spent fuel plants. Those are dead ringers for sabotage, for any earthquake, for a major storm. The whole point is we don't need nuclear power. Let's take a market aspect here. It's not insurable, except by the U.S. government, Price-Anderson Act. It's not bankable, except by U.S. government loan guarantees. The Wall Street financiers have done micro-analysis. It is not an economic proposition. They take 10 to 15 years to build, if they're lucky. They always come in 100, 200% cost overruns, right? We haven't built one, a licensed one, since the 1970s, right? What does that mean in a market sense? It means it's corporate socialism, it's government guaranteed, and no one has skin in the game.
What do you say to that, Michael?
No one has skin in the game.
What do you say, Michael?
This is like, I mean, you're blaming this on the market. You yourself led these efforts in the early 70s to shut down the expansion of nuclear, to keep it at 20% rather than growing it. Solar today, half to 2/3 of the cost of a solar system is subsidized by taxpayers and ratepayers. when the wind tax credit, the main subsidy for wind, is threatened in Congress, the entire wind industry shuts down. So this is, you're talking out of both sides of your mouth here, Ralph. It's like you can't justify the subsidies for solar and wind on the one hand and then criticize what you call subsidies for nuclear on the other.
Either no
Let me address
subsidies.
one other issue.
Yeah.
The other issue is the liability. The nuclear industry, if you have a plant, they pay insurance for it. In terms of the liability, jet airliners have limited liability.
Is subsidized by the federal government since 1956 because the private
they pay
insurance
into.
industry
Yeah.
will not insure them.
Well, and
we
there's
have
limited
to.
liability on jet accidents as well. So should we not have limited liability for jet airliners? I mean, this is not about, for you and for much of the environmental movement that came of age in the 60s, this is about a fear of nuclear weapons. One thing I wanted to address. 33 countries in the world have nuclear weapons capability. 9 of them have decided to pursue nuclear weapons. So the association you're making between somehow having more nuclear energy and the countries that already have nuclear capacity is really misleading, Ralph. In other words, 33 countries could have nuclear weapons. They decide not to get them. We can expand nuclear energy in those countries that already have.
Michael, I applaud you.
Ever hear of
I applaud you.
theft?
You are an outlier in the environmental community by supporting nuclear energy. Now, I applaud that because so many in the environmental community, and God love them, they are against, and then they don't have a legitimate solution to go forward. You have a legitimate solution to go forward. You can disagree with it. But there will be some in the environmental community will wonder whether maybe you are funded by folks who
Absolutely
are supporting
not.
the nuclear energy.
That's
so you don't get,
absolutely libelous.
to make the record straight for
Yes.
everyone, you're not funded by anybody in the nuclear energy.
I've never been funded by any energy industry, any energy company at all. I haven't taken money from any solar or wind or any of those folks. Let me just say one other thing about this. Last week, late last week, or I believe it was over the weekend, 4 of the world's top climate scientists, including former NASA climate scientist James Hansen, they sent an open letter to the leaders of the environmental movement, and I think you should consider yourself a recipient of that letter as well, calling on them to embrace the push for advanced nuclear. The response that they've gotten is just rejection out of hand. So what you have started to see now is you've seen Bill Gates, President Obama, Jeffrey Sachs, Richard Branson, Paul Allen, Nathan Myhrvold, the world's leading climate scientists, all saying we need nuclear energy because we can't bet the planet on solar, which provides 0.1%, and on wind, which is totally dependent on federal subsidies. That is a very dangerous bet.
But Michael, let's talk about dangerous. Let's talk about dangerous. Let me just ask him a question.
This is ridiculous what he's saying.
Well, let me just ask
Warren
him a question.
Buffett, by the way, says nuclear power is uneconomical. Okay, go ahead.
So when they built Fukushima and Chernobyl, when they built 3 Mile, they said it was a 1 in 10,000 odds that there would be a meltdown. And now we've had 3 meltdowns in 35 years in 3 countries. Would you take those odds to Las Vegas today, 1 in 10,000?
Well, so first of all, I was 8 years old when 3 Mile Island happened, so I don't really feel like I should be responsible for whatever claims people were making when I was a baby. Look, there's accidents in every energy industry, and the good thing is actually it's studied really carefully by the International Energy Agency, the World Health Organization, articles in Lancet. So Ralph can speculate all you want. The science is clear about the safety of nuclear. Like you said, you've had 3 serious accidents. Coal, when you don't have accidents, when it's functioning properly, kills 13,000 people a year, over 300,000 people a year. So Ralph, what do you say to that? In other words, what about all your coal deaths? What's the solution to avoiding those?
You know, if you'll only listen, the solution is massive potential here now for energy efficiency, job intensive all over the country, studied from A to Z.
You're just
That's number
repeating
one.
yourself.
Wait,
I've responded to that twice.
The second is solar energy is going to be the future of the world. I can cite you a million studies.
You've
look
been
at the
saying that
Pentagon.
since the 70s.
Yeah, but it's been
You've been
blocked.
saying it since the early 70s.
It has been blocked
All right.
by the fossil fuel
Halt,
industry.
boys. Halt, boys.
Hold on, guys. Stay here. Next, we ceasefire. And after this conversation, we're going to try to find out, is there anything the two of you can agree on? We also want you at home to weigh in on today's fireback question. Are you afraid to live near a nuclear power plant? Tweet yes or no using #Crossfire. We'll have the results after the break.